Hey YouTubers, thanks so much for checking out our video. For those of you that don't know us, I'm Trish.
And I'm Carolina.
We're with Just Dance, and in this video series, we're going to be giving you tips to improve your posture, frame, technique, musicality, and connection in the common patterns of salsa. And in this video, we're going to be going over your frame, connection, and technique in the 5th position breaks. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right, so to get started, we're going to demonstrate what the 5th position breaks look like in salsa on 1. Carolina's gonna lead, I'm going to follow. We're gonna demonstrate from this profile view at this time, but later on we will show you different angles. Going into it right away on 1 will look like this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So to start, we're gonna do frame and connection together.
So for frame and connection, we are gonna start in an open hold right here. We already talked about the frame in our other video, so go check it out, but I'm gonna say it again. So you really wanna make sure that you don't move your arms like this much because it distracts from your feet. So people only wanna look at your feet, not your arms going wild like this. And you really wanna have it toned. And you wanna be poised forward a little bit, which was talked about in the posture video.
Right, so by keeping a little bit of tone in your arms, they're not gonna move like too loose, but also they stay in front of your body, which is where you want them for a good frame and connection.
And so when we start our pattern, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Our frame really wants to stay in the same place, so you keep your arms in front of your body so that you can keep going into your 5th position breaks. Same thing here, it keeps going this way and in front of our body. If not, it's gonna end up looking like this. If you keep it in front.
Well, if you overextend it, that's one common mistake is people tend to overextend, which goes into over leading and arm leading. So when we're dancing, we want to make sure that our connection in this dance is short, meaning the elbows stay bent and the arms are closer to the body, they don't overextend, because that will result in slowing you down and throwing you off balance. So making sure that you're not overextending the arms, but you're keeping them in front of your body the same way that they were when you faced your partner.
And you also don't want to keep them too short, that your follower doesn't actually turn, and we just stay here in this awkward position. So you really want to keep them in front of you, as Trish was saying, as when you come back right here, and then go this way, and come back to the same position.
Yeah, so by doing that, the follower has a much clearer idea of what the leader is asking them to do. And when the leader has the arms too loose, or they're overdoing it and overextending, or not doing enough, then there's confusion, and the follower can figure it out by watching what the leader's doing, but it's not as smooth or fluid as it could be if they had a better connection to begin with by keeping the arms in front of the body and making sure that the body is moving and the arms are following. So that's frame and connection tips. Moving on to our technique for today, we're gonna talk about the footwork and leg positions to help you not take such big steps, which is another common mistake. We did mention this in the previous video on the basic step on the footwork, making sure not to lower the heel on the back step. So when we do take this back step, we want to focus on the heel barely going down, so we don't put any weight in the heel, which stops our progression. We want to keep it up, keeps our weight forward, and it helps us to be quicker. So on the back steps, the heel gets close to the ground, but the weight does not go into the heel. And we'll show you from this angle as well. So it gets close to the ground, but it does not actually touch. Okay, so that's your footwork. And then otherwise you're stepping with the ball of your foot on every step. In fact, you don't want to pick the ball of your foot up from the floor unless you're doing some type of embellishment, which we're not doing right now. So you want to slide those toes. And then with your leg action, I wanted to talk about the knees. So when we step back, we want to focus on bringing the knees together so that we make sure to take a more small step and we don't reach too far, which results in balance issues and connection issues. So if we step too far away from each other, it gets kind of big like this. Obviously still doable, we're still dancing, but we're gonna have a hard time with music because the movement is too big, and like we were talking about earlier with connection, we need to keep everything more compact. So that means your steps also need to stay compact, especially for those fast salsas. So a good rule of thumb is if your knees come together on that back step, you'll be sure to take the right size for your body so that you are nice and balanced and you're able to stay poised forward throughout. So we're gonna dance that a few times so you can pay attention to that with the leader. Carolina's back to you. 5, 6, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, we're gonna do a basic first. And 1, 2, 3, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Focusing on bringing the knees together, not lowering the heels, keeping the arms in front of the body, and keeping tone in the arms. And we're gonna turn around and show you that from another view. 5, 6, 7, basic. 1, 2, 3, and fifth position breaks. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, back to the basic. And we'll show you one more time from this angle. We have a basic 6, 7, go. 1, 2, 3, fifth position breaks. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. All right, so let's do a quick recap of everything we covered in this video before we finish. So the first thing we talked about was
frame and connection. So you want to make sure that you keep those arms in front of your body even when you're doing your fifth position breaks.
Yeah, making sure not to have them loose and waving around. And then we also talked about our technique. We focused on making sure that that heel doesn't lower on the back steps to help you keep your weight forward and give you a better connection to your partner. And then we also talked about how the knees come together as you start that back break or the fifth position break so that your steps are not too large. Because if you separate the knees on that step, chances are you'll have too much space between your feet, which will cause an imbalance issue. Those were our tips today. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, let us know in the comments below.
And don't forget to subscribe so that you get notifications to new upcoming videos.
Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.